All right, now that you have unlocked the high and low whips both in and out, we can connect all four of them into this move called the fountain. It looks a bit complicated, but I'll try to break it down. And if you've been practicing your high and low whips, you should be able to connect all of them together. So first I'll show you without the rope, then I'll show you with the rope, and then I'll talk about some common mistakes. So step number one with the rope is you go into a low whip. So low whip, you want to remember, in this case, I'm going to be rotating my rope underhand this way, facing east right now, right? So without the rope, I'm going down, right hand under left hand. That's the low whip, step number one. Step number two is my left hand's going to come up to my left shoulder. That creates that high whip, and I'm going to get another spin in there. Step number three, I bring my right hand over to my right shoulder. So I'm going from hip to shoulder, all right? I'm not going from hip to shoulder on the left. I'm going hip to right shoulder. Step number four, left hand comes over and down to my right hip. So when you connect shoulder to opposite, you go to the opposite hip. You don't go to the shoulder here first. So over to the hip. So again, step one, under the left hand. Step two, up to the right shoulder. Step three, over to the right shoulder. Step four, down to the right hip. And then step five, you bring your right hand down to your right hip. And then six, you bring it back in front. So I'll show you with the rope. Step one is the low whip, like that. Step two is low whip going up to a high whip in, low whip in, high whip in. So my left hand coming up like this. And then step three, connecting through a dragon head to pass over to the right side. So low whip in, high whip in, then dragon head like that. So that's kind of 1, 2, 3. And then 4 will be from the dragon head, initiating a high whip out, and then going to a low whip in. So that's 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, the left hand down to the right hip. And then 5, you bring this down here, like that. Right hand down to right hip, and that creates another spin, right? And then 6, you're going to bring it back to the front. So let's connect all of them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So that is basically the fountain. Some common mistakes that I was making when I first started out this move is not doing the low whip in correctly and actually going straight into like this, where I have my left arm near my left shoulder. Then you can't actually create another spin. You're just going straight into a high whip, so you don't have the low whip portion there, right? So make sure you don't make that mistake. You want to make sure you go 1 and 2. That's another move. You get another circle in the back over here. So the way you do that is by making sure that your right hand's coming down to under your left hand, and your left hand is at your left hip, not at your left shoulder, right? So 1, 2, because from down here, when you bring it up, that's another circle there. So I'll show it again. 1, 2. So you see you get another circle in the back. Another mistake that some people make, including myself, especially myself, because I'm learning, teaching from my perspective, is when I connect over and I bring my hand over, I bring to the shoulder. So you want to make sure you bring straight to the hip. So it's not supposed to look like this, because 1, 2, 3. If you do this here, then you're like, okay, wait. Come down, too many movements there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can move my hand. So make sure that you come straight over to your hip. So those are the two main mistakes that I had. When you come straight to the hip, it will also become a lot more natural for you to go into this last movement here, the low whip, where you bring your right hand down, and then you can come forward after that. A few other key things that will help you prevent the rope from catching on you if you notice that it happens. When you're on your left side, you want to make sure that your right hand is further out than your left hand, but not too far out. So I'll show from the side, because what's going to happen is when you do your rotations over here, like this, if your hand is too far out, it's going to wrap around your hand like that. But you want it to be slightly further out, and the spin is going to happen kind of like so. So the rope's kind of going to be beside your hand, all right? And the same happens with your opposite. When you're on the right side, you want to make sure that your left hand is a bit further out, not too far out again, because if you have your right hand further out, when you throw, then it will catch and wrap around your right hand. And again, if you have your left hand too far out, it will wrap around your left hand as well. But it's going to be a bit harder to do that if it's too far out. So just kind of have both of them kind of at a similar distance, but maybe with the left hand a little bit further out, and it's going to go on your side like this, right? A few other key things to point out that will both affect how you do your low whip in, but also your fountain, is how you actually do your low whip. Number one is, I mentioned in the low whip, your right hand comes under your left hand when you're going in this direction, like this. But you want to make sure that your left hand is not kind of pointing palm up this way. You want to try to have your palm down instead. And I noticed that makes a big difference, because when your right hand is palm up, technically it's very similar to a high whip, because you'll have the habit of like bringing your arm up at your elbow, and that's technically a high whip movement. Actually, it's more like a mid whip, which we'll go into in the next section. But you want to be careful not to do that. So when you have your palm facing down instead this way, that ensures that you really lock in that low whip at your low hip over here like this. So right hand under left hand, and have your left hand palm facing down like this. And this relates to the fountain, because when you do the low whip to the high whip, you're going from palm down to palm up like this, one motion. If you start like this, then it's really, you don't get that twist when you bring it up, and you'll just feel like you're just lifting, and it becomes a bit awkward like that. So have your palm down, that will help a bit with the transition, right?